Okay, can I have the stool? This is Zeter. You guys don't see him in videos, but I promise he's never more than about 4 feet from me if I'm filming at the studio at home. Sorry, buddy. So this is, I guess, sort of a bittersweet video to make today. This is the last video that I'm going to be making in this space. For those of you who have followed me for a long time, I started making videos in 2008. I didn't actually start on YouTube. It was like an iTunes video podcast, and then I moved over to YouTube, I don't know, maybe 2 years later. And since 2010, I've spent the last, I guess, 10 years now on YouTube, and I've been making videos regularly about photography. And I started out, I was living in Dallas. I had an apartment that I lived in there. It was this cool loft, and then I moved to Fort Worth 5 years ago into this house. So this is, essentially, this was an old garage that was converted into a 4th bedroom in this house that I rent. And so I make my videos back here. I do love working at home. However, it does have challenges in terms of audio and so on and so forth when you are working at home. For those of you who do this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Twice a week, we have lawnmowers. If they're mowing my yard, they're right up next to the window. So that's really nice. I have a new studio space, and I'm really excited about this. And so that's where I'm going to be moving the show. I think it's going to facilitate some changes that I'm able to do, the amount of time that I'm able to put into this. I'm really excited about this. You guys probably want to see this new space. Well, I guess we could go do a little tour. Come with me. We're going to need car keys and studio keys. Come on. Another cool thing about this space is that it is not far from the house, so short commute, always a good thing. Nice, beautiful day we have out here. So this is the building. It is an old apartment complex that was built in the 1920s, and in the 80s it was converted into office spaces. So I've got like, well, you're gonna see it here. It's like a whole part of this. It's pretty cool. Get some lights on in here. So I've got neighbors downstairs, and this is the unit up here, which is very dark. I said I've been working on this for about 6 months, and they've been actually found this place, and it's been in renovation for about 4 months, so it's really cool. So this is one room here. I'll get some lights on, and you can see it. The acoustics are not going to be good because there's nothing in here, so it's a little boomy. And tell you what, let me open up the whole thing, and then I'll give you the big tour here. Okay, so up here on the second floor here, we've got one studio on the left. There's another one over here on the right-hand side, and they're mirrored as far as floor plan, and I'll show you that in a second. And in the middle, there are 2 smaller offices that I'll show you what I'm gonna use for those too. But I'm gonna start over here. This is the big room here. This is going to be bad acoustics right now. Sorry about that. It's very reverby because nothing's in here. But this will be a photo studio, so I'll be able to do lighting in here. So I decided to go with track lighting in this space, and there were a couple reasons why. One, that we have these awesome walls, and I want to be able to do some gallery type stuff in here where I can put some of my images up. And my landlord kind of said, well, we're going to go with the cheapest thing I can find unless you want to do it. And I said, I want to do it. So we ended up going with track lighting. I went with WAC. So pro tip here, WAC make a wide variety of stuff. So we started with some basic lights, but everything's interchangeable in the tracks. And so later on, if I want a wall wash or if I want a spot, or if I want something different, you can just buy it and plug and play. So that is very cool. I wanted to do a grid in here. There's no way it's going to happen. The ceilings are made out of plaster, and it will come down, so no lighting grid. Everything's got to be freestanding. But it's kind of cool because this is something you don't see in buildings really anymore, but these coved ceilings where they're curved on the sides, which I'm super, super psyched about. But I've never had a dedicated still photo studio before, so I'm really amped about this. It's got 2 rooms. There's another one up here. A little bit of a view. I don't know what we're going to do about these windows, but anyway, that's the idea. This used to be a closet. It's It's been turned into bathrooms now, which is kind of super cool. And yeah, that's the photo studio. And then we'll come back around here because this is the only studio that doesn't connect with the rest. So this goes through to the other studio, which mirrors the first one you saw. But this one has carpeting. It's got beautiful hardwoods under these carpets. I tried to get him to keep them, but no dice. So it's probably just as well I'll be doing more video stuff in here probably. The idea is one day, if we ever get out of the Rona stuff, could put a conference table in here and actually do workshops in the space, and then go out and do stuff in the city, which would be fun. But this is the second studio, and it's also mirrored, so it's got a front room as well. And that's the pass-through back to the stairs where we came from. And you can see the photo studio back that side. Wish I had a wider angle lens on here because it's kind of hard to get all this in. But same thing here. There's a closet turned into a bathroom on that side. A little bit of storage here. And this could be used as an office or, you know, whatever I decide to do. So it's going to be cool. I'm kind of super stoked. In here, I've got two smaller offices. The idea is I'll probably use this as my office. And I'll be able to do editing stuff in here, and then there's a second one in here, and so I'm not real sure I'll take one or the other. But one will probably be storage for now. Maybe if I bring somebody on to help edit, I've got room now. So one other interesting note is, okay, so these are the stairs we came up back in the 1920s when this was an apartment complex up to the 80s, long time. Would have been 2 apartments on each floor, and so I've kind of got the whole top floor of this wing. So anyway, it would have been 1 apartment over here, 1 on the other side. So I'll show you, this is kind of cool. So you would have come in here and those offices would have been connected. So like this would have been probably a bedroom back here. This would have been a living room. And then on the other side, that would have been a kitchen. Because the interesting thing is when we did the plumbing for the bathrooms, there was plumbing in the walls. So those were probably bathrooms later turned into closets. So there was community bathrooms downstairs, but I have my own, which is very cool. And it also made it really cool because like I mentioned, these little 2 rooms in the middle, this first one's okay because you've got a door right here, but that other one was a complete dungeon. Like there's a wall between them and it just was a mess. So it was really cool because what we were able to do was, when we come in here, you can see that we just punched a big hole. And so I think they were big archways is what he says in the wall. So this whole thing would have been exposed. And you could do a really open thing like that. I think that would have been cool, but I kind of like the way we did it here. So like just punching that one hole here, like just totally opened up those middle spaces. They don't seem as dungeony anymore. It's pouring rain right now, but we've got a little courtyard in the middle and you can sit outside if you want, and we've got street lamps. And one of my favorite parts about this space is double pane windows. So like there's a really busy street right here because we're like 2 blocks from Magnolia and Fairmont, which is the cool hipster neighborhood, which will be fun because I can go over there and shoot. But anyway, we're on a busy street and it's quiet. It's amazing. I don't have this at home. It's always loud. There's lawnmowers, there's street noise, there's cars, there's trains. There's always something that I have to stop filming for, and it's getting old. So it's part of why we got the new space. Another interesting note, there's a little body shop down, you can't really see it, it's down that way. And apparently one of the owners said his mother used to live here when it was apartments. I don't think it was this unit, but in the complex. This is essentially the new studio space. I am so amped about this. That little room that I've been using for the last 5 years is maybe 300 square feet. I outgrew it a long time ago, and to be honest with you, I've been burnt out for a long time in there. It's just really difficult to be able to do everything, and also in a place where you live too. So it's a little bit of a blank canvas right now, and by a little bit of a blank canvas, I mean it's entirely a blank canvas. It's one of the things that's actually really exciting to me though, because you're starting from nothing and get to build it out. So the next phase is going to be the build out. It's going to be pretty slow and gradual. I'm going to go ahead and start filming over here. I'm going to bring all my stuff that I'm using, and I'm really stoked to be able to build this up. I kind of want to go minimal if possible because I want to use these not only as studios but also as gallery spaces, so I don't want them super cluttered. But I'm really excited. It's going to be a whole new year. 2020 is finally over. 2021 is looking up, and I want to continue to inspire you guys, and I'm hoping this will help me increase the frequency that I'm able to do videos, and the work that I'm doing hopefully will just get better. And so that's what I'm striving for. So happy new year to you. Hope you all have big plans for the new year. If you have any questions about the space or anything, drop me a comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, later.